Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm the one true Coop, and today I've got some battles for you that take place several months ago, okay? It's the Retro Cup Great League Edition. I know that was a long time ago, but I've got a lot of backlogged footage that I want to go through. I've been meaning to get around to this for a while, and look, this is actually the most current, not most current, but it's the most recent of the backlogged footage I have. The other stuff is way older, like several months, possibly even last season. So, anyways, this is Retro Cup Great League Edition. I have Cofagrigus on the lead, Abomasnow, and Cradily, and they both kind of function as safe swaps depending on, Cofagrigus doesn't really lose any matchups really hard as a lead, so that's partly why I put him in the front, and yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it. I had only positive sets with this team, and I was really happy with his performance, so let's get into it. Alright, so hopping into the first match, we've got Cofagrigus lead into Lantern. So a pretty neutral lead. Something that I love about Cradily is that it just destroys Lanterns. I mean, it's not even funny. Cradily has no trouble with Lantern at all, or Noctowl, which is part of why I thought Cradily was going to be so good in this cup. It's because Lantern and Noctowl was going to go unchecked. So I decided to play it out. I throw the Shadow Ball and they don't shield. So I go ahead and catch the Surf on Abomasnow here. And they're going to punish me with Licky Tongue. Not the hardest punish. So I'm going to go ahead and let the Body Slam go through and then toss the Energy Ball. So we can take one more of those maybe. But plus the lick damage, I don't think so actually. So we're going to have to shield if we want to keep Switch. But I think we will make it to the Weather Ball before they make it to another Body Slam. So we'll lob this Weather Ball at them and see what happens next. It's also, these are very old battles, so there's a lot of, there's going to be a lot of me not knowing what's going on in these videos. So I'm going to have to try and get in tune with my 3-month ago self. And bringing in Cofagrigus here to get a very aggressive farm down. These licks, I mean, this was not the best decision. I don't know, the Body Slams do nothing, but the licks kind of start to add up. So I think I get just above, just right below 2 Dark Pulses and go ahead and throw here. And are they going to come back in with the Lantern? No, they come in with a Noctowl. So this is what I was talking about. It is a little bit rough because we don't have shield advantage, but I believe we can take 2, maybe 3 Sky attacks with Cradily. So they're going to start burning their shields on these rock slides, and I can't remember for sure, but I go ahead and shield the first one. I didn't have to do that, but that's okay. Yeah, they're going to outpace us pretty heavily here. Bullet Seed, not the best fast move in terms of... okay, sorry. This was kind of weird. They decided to switch into Lantern and they throw the Surf. So what I do is I build up to the back-to-back Rock Slide and Grass Knot. I throw the Grass Knot thinking I'm probably going to get the last shield. They let it go and they send Noctowl back in. So I go ahead and just let the Rock Slide rip. I don't have any shields, so this is going to get a little dicey. They have a very healthy Noctowl. I try to catch on Cofagrigus. As you can see, it was unsuccessful. Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot. So they're going to be able to overfarm by a lot here. And I'm beginning to remember this was a loss. So they hit me with a Sky Attack. That's that for Cofagrigus. And they've already got another one loaded. So, and if I had made it to the Rock Slide, I don't think that was going to KO the Noctowl from that range anyway. So, first match, kind of a rough battle for us, but that's okay. We're going to hop into the next one. And we lead Medicham, so great lead for us. Coffin Creep is going to tear this thing up. And they decide to switch into Altaria, and we have a hard punish with Abomasnow. We can basically shield once, and then just quick move this thing all the way down. We're just going to fast move it with Powder Snow. By the way, if you don't name, I decided to let that go. That was kind of weird. I guess I was content with getting the shield advantage because Cradily can sweep, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. No, I do make it. I do make it to 2 Weather Balls, so I can go ahead and take shield advantage here. More than likely, they're going to shield this up because they do not want that Cofagrigus on the Altaria, or on the Medicham. So I come back in with Cofagrigus here, and I don't even think I shield. I think I just say, yeah, no, whatever. No, I do shield. See, I'm telling you, these were a long time ago. So I want to preserve some health. I'm farming over by a lot because these Dragon Breaths don't do too much. I have a very bulky Cofagrigus. I think it's ranked 45. So we throw the Dark Pulse, and what's going to come in to punish us? It's a Kingdra. So we go ahead and send in Cradily because I have a shield advantage. I think it takes 2 Grass Knots to KO this Medicham, but no, it's going to take 3. Yeah, this was a bad decision on my part, so I think I may still win this game. It's going to be kind of close. I let the Dynamic Punch go through. I definitely have to farm this thing down or get as much energy as possible. So I throw the Dark Pulse right here, which I believe was on CMP. I think Cofagrigus won CMP over Medicham. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And I have the Shadow Ball ready to go, and I'm thinking this one may have been a loss because we just barely don't have enough HP to Shadow Claw this thing down before they get to they get the Octazooka. I don't remember if they get the attack debuff. Let's see. They don't get the attack debuff, but I'm just not close enough. I can't get there. So definitely my win condition was not letting the Altaria hit me with a Sky Attack. I don't know what I was thinking there. I'm learning. Everybody's learning. So here's what I hate. Dunsparce. This Pokemon was the hardest thing for this team to deal with. And as you can see right here, I have no clue what to do against this thing. I just start throwing Dark Pulses. I'm thinking, you know, the Shadow Claws aren't doing anything. Dark Pulse is maybe going to get me some chip damage, but I can't switch into Abomasnow here. And Cradily, I mean, it's just not a super safe matchup, and I can get punished pretty hard. And I also want the Cradily for the Quagsire. So I'm just tanking all this damage on my Cofagrigus here. And I believe what's going to happen is they're going to have Quagsire in the lead. They're going to have Dunsparce as the swap, and then they may have the closer of Frostlass. So what I'm hoping to do by switching into Abomasnow here is they can't come in with Quagsire. So I'm gonna soak up some of this energy. I'm gonna go ahead and burn a shield here and then try to farm up as much as I can. So we make it to 2 Weather Balls. I don't know how to time my moves against Rollout. Yeah, a completely honest time. I don't know what the counts are for that thing, and at this point, I'm too embarrassed to even learn. It's actually an Oranguru in the back, which I was not expecting now or then. So I try to make it to the Energy Ball, just can't make it, and I don't even throw the Weather Ball because I'm a goofball. But I will make it to the Shadow Ball, just barely. I'm very risky with my not throwing moves here, and they shield it, which means this game's pretty much over. Because Oranguru is not going to be able to get rid of this Cradily, and that Quagsire is just going to get shredded. I mean, that matchup is abysmal for Quagsire. When you're down shields, for sure. I don't remember if I shield this. I think I end up shielding this because I'm not expecting there to be a harder hitting move here. And at this point, I'm just kind of waiting for the catch. And they try to catch the Rock Slide, I'm guessing. I go ahead and I'm patient, and I throw the Grass Knot, and that's going to take out that Quagsire. And I just need to make it to the Rock Slide here. I think this will KO, and that's going to be a good game. There we go. As I was saying before, you have to nickname your Pokemon. I know what you're thinking. Coffin Creep, that's kind of mean. Why would you call your Pokemon a creep? Well, it's a ghost type, so it's not derogatory in any sense. Anyways, leading Altaria again. So what I'm going to do here... No, they didn't lead Altaria in that game. But anyways, we have an Altaria on the lead. So they're going to go ahead and throw the Sky Attack, and I'm going to let it go. I usually just play out the lead here, try to get shields, because Altaria is not that hard for this team to deal with what we've got in the back. So what I'm thinking is I'll throw the Shadow Ball and then switch into Abomasnow and the Frostlass. They're going to want the shield back, so I'm going to give it to them. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to try to take a Sky Attack, and there's the Deoxys. So this is kind of tough. The good thing is, depending on their moveset, if they're running Thunderbolt, we can take one and make it to another Energy Ball here. So I decide to just go ahead and let it go through. But it's actually the Psycho Boost, which is not enough, and their attack gets debuffed. So I think we might have been able to make it to the Energy Ball, but I go ahead and just play it safe here and throw the Weather Ball. And it doesn't KO, but that's okay, because what I want to do now is come in with Cradily and get a little bit of an energy lead on that Altaria. And they're going to throw the Psycho Boost or whatever. It doesn't matter because they're already debuffed. If you're running Defense Form Deoxys, you usually want to build up to 2 Psycho Boosts. Just, you know, because you're not going to KO with the first one, and then what are you going to do? You got a debuffed Psycho Boost, and your counters aren't doing as much as they used to. In comes the Drift Blim, and I'm thinking they either have Mystical Fire or Icy Wind. And I'm not really sure if I want to shield this, but I think I go ahead and decide to. And it is the Mystical Fire and not the Icy Wind. So, not the worst shield, but upsetting. Because I think we could have survived that. And I go ahead and swap into Cofagrigus here. I wanted to farm a little bit more, but I kind of got nervous, so I just threw the Dark Pulse immediately. And here what's going to happen is that Altaria cannot make it to a Sky Attack faster than we can make it to the Rock Slide. Or they can't make it to back-to-back, I'm sorry. They won't get the 2 Sky Attacks. We'll get to a Rock Slide, and that's going to be game over for the opponent. And there it is. So that's going to be the second win. So good game to the opponent there. And let's look what happens in the next game. So we have Cofagrigus into Medicham again. Great lead. I love this lead. Cofagrigus just destroys Medicham. And they're staying in. So I'm thinking they do not have a good response to Cofagrigus. I'm thinking maybe they've got Frostlass in the back. And they only have 1 response. So they send in this Dugong. And I'm thinking, I'll make it to 100 energy. I'll throw a Shadow Ball. And then I'll go into Cradily. Or I may even go into... No, I'm just staying in. I'm just going to stay in with this thing. And try to catch an Icy Wind on Abomasnow? I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm new to this. They throw the Icy Wind. I can take 2. And I think that's what I decide to do. The problem is I will not make it to an Energy Ball now. No, I will. I will. So I throw the Energy Ball. And it is enough to KO after 2 debuffs. And they have Lantern in the back. So they weren't really afraid of a Ghost type. I guess they were okay with Medicham going down there. But I make it to the Energy Ball because they get really greedy. And they throw on Charge Move Priority. So Abomasnow wins. And they have to burn a Surf. And now I've got Lantern up 2 shields against a half-health Lantern. I have Cradily up 2 shields against a half-health Lantern. And you're going to see, this is one of my favorite things about Cradily. Look at that. Nothing. They send back in the Medicham. I've got 2 Dark Pulses, and they're going to have to double shield. This is where they're going to have to burn their shields, too, because they're not going to be able to take down that Cradily with that Lantern. I make it to the Shadow Ball. I don't know. I figured I'd make it to 1 move, and if they don't shield this, it definitely KOs, whereas the Dark Pulse, I wasn't super sure. And they throw on Charge Move Priority again. They have not learned their lesson. I don't know if that was just them making it to the Ice Punch, so maybe that was not intentional. But I go ahead and throw the Grass Knot immediately because I don't want to take any counter damage, and they forfeit. So we win that one. Good game. And that's the first set. And I think you're going to see me embarrassingly not be able to catch this Wooloo. I can't remember. No, I did get it. That's good because there are a few videos where I'm not catching the Wooloo. Yeah, my ELO rankings are around 2,300 for these videos. This was a point in the season where that was about where I expected to be. So here we go. It's Dunsparce again. I have not learned my lesson. I still don't know what the heck to do against this thing. We have 2 sets, by the way. I got 2 sets to show you. I believe they're both both positive. I only had positive sets up to this point in the recording, so they're gonna go ahead and start throwing out those drill runs. And I'm just staying in because I don't know what to do. I'm like, Dunsparce, huh? You know, I really should have planned better for this. I did try running Primeape as the lead because you still do okay against ghost types with Night Slash. But you do worse, um, or you do better against normal types. So I wanted something to kind of help mitigate that, but overall, Primeape is just so glassy, and I didn't want to use any other normal type counters. So that's what it is. I go ahead and throw the energy ball here after they switch into Frostlass, and this is what I was talking about. So in this cup, it was like Dunsparce, Frostlass, it was everywhere. And this set might even be from a different day. But as you can see, I still didn't know how to play the Dunsparce lead. So it is what it is. I throw the Weather Ball and I get the shield. And I decide to kind of be aggressive here. I switch into Cofagrigus and I throw the Dark Pulse. And they've got a double shield if they want to keep that Frostlass. So now, I've burned both of my shields. Trying to keep that Abomasnow healthy. But what I'm going to do is come in with Cradily. And I believe I can take one Avalanche. Yes, yes. My Cradily is ranked 285, so not super high. Oh, I remember this game. This is actually really unfortunate. So I overfarm here, and I had the Grass Knot. I had to leave with a Rock Slide, I think, in order to win, and they make it to the Surf, and that's just it. So I surrender. I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of getting that last Hex. So good game to the opponent. I think that even if I had managed my energy better and just thrown, it still would have been the same outcome. So now I've got Jellicent on the lead, and they're going to switch into Dugong. And I think I saw this team a couple times too. So it's Jellicent, Dugong, and I think Frostlass in the back. It's double Ghost. It was pretty popular with this cup. So I decided to stay in because the Jellicent gets countered by both of my Pokemon in the back, and I don't really need to win lead right here. I don't need switch advantage. So they throw the Icy Wind, and I do switch. You know, you learn as you get older. These were a long time ago. So I throw the Rock Slide here. They go ahead and give me a shield, and they're going to throw the Icy Wind, and I don't want to take that damage. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the Icy Wind on the shield. So there we go, and we make it to Rock Slide again. The good thing about this matchup is you do outpace. You get debuffed, and you need to spend a shield, but overall, it's not the worst matchup. So, and they have their own Abomasnow, and I'm going to be able to make it to a Rock Slide, I believe, and this is going to get that last shield. So this is kind of tricky because their Abomasnow has an energy lead on mine. So what I want to do is send in the Cofagrigus. I got aggressive there. I thought they were going to try to catch, but they didn't. So I just lob off this Shadow Ball, and that's going to take the Abomasnow to a pretty good range for me, where I'm going to be able to come in with my Abomasnow and quick move down. I believe that's what I'm going to do. I may come in with Cradily to make them throw the Weather Ball. Yeah, that's what I do. So I don't want them to have an energy advantage over me in the mirror. So I make them throw that Weather Ball, and then I've got 2 Powder Snows up on this Jellicent, who I believe might have been close to a Surf. But I decided, you know what? I don't even need to shield this. Forget it. If it's the Shadow Ball, so be it. And it is. You can't one-hit KO me. So then I throw the Energy Ball here, and that's going to be a game, I believe. Yeah, that's enough. So that's a win there. Good game. In the next match, we're leading Cofagrigus into Hypno. I did see quite a few Hypno, actually, the Shadow Hypno, and they decide to stay in. So I'm thinking they have Shadow Ball, and they're going to try to hit me with a Shadow Ball surprise. But I am good at timing against Confusion, because that one's easy. And they shield. It doesn't look like they shield because the game's kind of weird. But I go ahead and throw that shield up just because I don't want to eat the Shadow Punch. And I'm okay with trading shields in this matchup because I know I'm going to outpace. And the Confusions do kind of hurt, but they're not doing enough where I'm nervous at this point. And they let it go. They don't want to go down 2 shields. And in comes Liniune. And I like this a lot. Liniune was a Pokemon I thought about running. I love Liniune. They run Shadow Claw, Grass Knot, and Thunderbolt. So it's a really unique moveset. But in the end, I just decided I don't think I'm going to be able to make Liniune work. So I'm going to go with the trusted Cradily here. And the Rock Slide will not one-hit KO the Frostlass. I think that's a shiny Frostlass also. Very nice opponent. And I decide Abomasnow's got this one. I don't need to save Cradily. They got a Lineage in the back, and they can only hit for resisted charge moves. So I'm gonna go in with Frostlass. I'm gonna get the with Cofagrigus. I'm gonna get the farm down on the Frostlass, and I'm just gonna throw a Dark Pulse. My Shadow Claws aren't gonna do a lot, but they need to throw a move to get rid of this Cofagrigus because they still had a shield. So I just want to get the last shield, and then I'm gonna come in with Abomasnow, and I can take whatever they throw, even if it's the Grass Knot. Yeah, that does nothing, and they forfeit. Understandable. I know the feeling. I love running spicy Pokemon. That's kind of my favorite thing to do, but it's tough. Now we got a Water Gun Slowbro, or was this Confusion? I don't remember. But they switched into Abomasnow, and a little bit awkward because now I don't want to switch in my Abomasnow because I'll be behind on energy. But I also can't switch in Cradily, so I kind of just have to play this lead out, and I may end up switching after they throw their energy. So I go ahead and take the Weather Ball. That's a pretty big chunk. I decided to run the regular Abomasnow over the Shadow just because one, I don't have one, but two, I just felt like the additional glassiness on Abomasnow was not something I wanted for this cup. So they throw the Weather Ball. I'm farming up a little bit too much there, and I end up having to burn a shield, and they're one fast move ahead of me still. So I'm gonna get rid of the Abomasnow, and now we're playing out the one shield scenario here. So in comes that Slowbro again, and I will make it to the Energy Ball. So they're gonna have to give me that last shield, or take it and then get farmed down by Cofagrigus. And they decide to give me the last shield. In the back, they got their own Cradily, and they have a Shadow Cradily at that too. So running two Shadows on this team, a very similar team. I can see where the Slowbro would have its advantages over Cofagrigus, but overall, I think my line's a little bit better here. I'm sorry, opponent. They throw the Rock Slide, and I make it to the Shadow Ball. And against the Shadow Cradily, I think this is going to be enough to take it down. Yeah. Oh, it's close. And then I could just come in. I'm going to Bullet Seed down. I will take a Grass Knot here. I think it's a Grass Knot. It's not going to feel too good, but the confusion damage from the Slowbro will not be enough to get me knocked out here before I make it to the Grass Knot. And I think I need two. So I make it to the Grass Knot, and then I'll make it to the Rock Slide before they make it to Surf. I guess they make it to Surf. I'm having second thoughts about this video. Do I win this? Oh, yeah, I win this because the confusion doesn't register before my Rock Slide gets to be thrown. So a very close game. I really like the team from the opponent. I love Slowbro too. That's a great Pokemon. So I was able to get that one. I think I would have been able to take it with Cofagrigus, even if my Cradily had gone down. But there's that darn Defense Form Deoxys, and they're going to switch into Toxapex. In hindsight, I maybe wanted to switch into Cradily here, but I decided to just go ahead and stay in because these Poison Jabs are resisted, and the Brine and the Sludge Waves are not going to do that much damage. So I may be able to just throw a Dark Pulse here and then Shadow Claw all the way down, which is what I want to do because that Defense Form Deoxys, I need to make sure I have alignment against that thing because Defense Form Deoxys is tough for this team to deal with. Not as tough as the Medicham, not as tough as like the Obstagoon. You can't run Obstagoon in this cup. What am I thinking? I can't remember who the other counter user was, but they have their own Cofagrigus. So I switch into Cradily because I want to get that Defense Form Deoxys back out, and I can go ahead and throw some Grass Knots here, and this Deoxys is not going to appreciate it. You know, it's going to get me. I mean, my fast moves are doing less than their counters, but my charge moves are going to be doing more than theirs. So it's going to take 3 Grass Knots to take it out, but I only need 2 Grass Knots and a Rock Slide. And I decided to let this go, and I think it's the Psycho Boost, and it doesn't KO. They're going to have to throw both. Oh, it's so close. They don't have to throw both, but now they have one for the Cofagrigus. But I decided actually probably to come in with the Abomasnow here. So I'm waiting out the counter or the clock. I do come in with Cofagrigus, and I put up a shield. I'm a crazy guy sometimes. I don't know if I needed to shield that. Oh, I wanted to get the Shadow Ball off on this Cofagrigus. That's what happened here. So they're going to give me the last shield, and I'm going to come in with my Abomasnow. No, we're in the ones. I can't even keep track of shields when I'm watching, let alone when I'm playing. So They throw the Shadow Ball, and I know I can take it. I saw the damage that it did when I was playing against the Jellicent, and I was like, Cofagrigus can't do it if Jellicent can't do it. I can take one. So I decided to start throwing out the Weather Balls. I get that last shield, and I'm gonna just barely not make it to the Energy Ball before I gotta use this last shield. And I think that they're still switch locked, so they cannot catch this Weather Ball, or this Energy Ball. So I throw one more Powder Snow, because I'm crazy like that, and then I throw the Energy Ball here. And we get rid of that, and I switch into the Cofagrigus because my Abomasnow goes down, and Cofagrigus just cannot clutch that one out. So unfortunately, that was the game there. So a really fun team. I really enjoyed playing this team. I love Cofagrigus, and I love Cradily. I mean, Abomasnow is great too, but just Cradily absolutely the MVP for me with this team. I really, really enjoyed playing Cradily. I'm probably going to highlight Cradily a little bit more in the future. So that's it for this video. If you want to see 2 more bonus battles, check out the Discord. You can join the Discord, and I post bonus battles there. Usually those are just highlight battles that didn't make the cut for the video, but they're still fun to watch on their own. Usually those sets don't end up making it into the video, so I just kind of cut out the nice battles, and that's what goes into the Discord. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check the link in the description below. And hey, if you liked it, you can like the video. You don't have to. I'm not going to judge you. And if you want to subscribe, I try to upload twice a week, and I'm just starting out, so great time to start following. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.